Hi besties, this is So with Somi. I'll be showing you how to make this simple shift dress with a deep V neckline and straps in the middle. So I saw this style inspiration on GTFi's page on Instagram and I felt in love with it. So this is the inspiration that we're working with and this is the one I was able to recreate for myself. So if you watch the video I have here, I added belt to mine. So you can wear it with the belt and you can equally wear it without the belt. So if you want to see how I achieve this, do not skip any part of this video. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe and on your post notification button so you'll be notified every single time I post a new video on the channel. So for this tutorial, this is the Ankara fabric I'm working with. I have 3 yards here, so I'm just going to open the Ankara fabric up and I'll be folding it into 2. So fold your fabric into 2 like I'm doing here in the video and arrange it properly. So this is what we have. So the salvage area, there's a line there that will be serving as my starting line. I'll place my tape on that line. I'll come down 9 inches for my chest line, 16 inches for my waistline. My hip point is 24 inches. So for the full length of this dress is a short dress, so I made mine 37 because I want after folding I will have 36. So it's a short dress. If you want it shorter, it all depends on you. So mine is 36. I added 1 inch for hemming allowance. Now I'll divide my round shoulder by 2 on that starting line, which will give me 7.5, and I will mark the same 7.5 on the chest line and I will connect. So for the neck width, please, I would advise you use 4 inches. Here I used 3 inches, but I would advise you use 4 inches. Then I came down 1 inch for the depth for the back. So for the front neckline, since it's a deep V neckline, I'll be maintaining my chest line. So if you want it deeper like the one we're trying to recreate, you can come down 1 inch below your chest line, but I want to wear this for church, so I don't want my cleavage showing. That is why I maintained my chest line. So this is all we have. Now I'm going to come down the armhole side. I'll come down 1 inch for my shoulder slope and I'll connect from the neck width to that 1 inch. So like I said, make your neck width 4 inches please. So I'll measure what I have here. What I have is 8, half of that is 4. On that point I came in by half an inch. Now I'll connect the 3 points together to cover my armhole, but before then I'll take my bust measurement on the chest line and I'll connect them this way to cover my armhole. So cover out your armhole. Now I'm going to add my stitching allowance. So I added 1 inch for ease, 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then I'll come to the waistline. I'll divide my round waist by 4. I'll add 1 inch for ease, 1 inch for sewing allowance. So I added to 2 inches for sewing allowance. Then I'm going to connect from the chest line to the waistline. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on the hip line. I'll divide my round hip by 4. Then I'll add 2 inches. That is, I added 2 inches to that. So I'll connect from the waistline to the hip line, my cover this way. So coming to the full length, I have 12 inches on the hip. So this dress has a little A line on the side. So I'm going to add another 2 inches to that measurement. So I'll be marking 14 inches on the full length. So my hip is 40. 40 divided by 4 will give you 10. I added 2 inches for stitching allowance. Then on the full length, I added extra 2 inches, making it 14 because it has a little A line. But after marking that, I decided to add extra 1 inch to the side, making it 3 inches for the sewing allowance. I hope this is clear. So instead of marking 2 inches and marking 1 inch later, I advise that you just add 3 inches to your sewing allowance all the way down, so that you don't need to start marking it differently like I did. So the total sewing allowance I added to this dress is 3 inches. I hope this is clear. But if you have any questions, you can ask me on the comment section. So I took that 1 inch all the way down to the full length. So at that full length, remember I added 2 inches as the extra for the A line. So I added extra 1 inch to that. So it means at the full length, I added 3 inches. I hope this is understandable. So I'm done marking out, adding my allowance to the side. So we're going to cut out. So guys, if you're coming across my channel for the first time, welcome to my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys so much. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It helps the algorithm to push my videos out more. So this is what I have. We are going to be using this now to cut out another piece, so I'll go do that and bring it back to show you. So here I have two of the fabrics, so one is for the back and one will be for the front. So I'll take out the one for the back. So for the front now, I'll be cutting out the front neckline. So after that, I'm going to open it up this way. That is how the neckline is going to look. So this is what the front looks like. Now the next thing we're going to do now is I'm going to mark where my pocket is going to be. From the waistline, I came down 1 inch below the waistline, and for the pocket opening I used 6 inches for the pocket opening. So I'm going to notch that area. That is where my pocket is going to be placed. So that is it. Now these are the fabric I've cut out. The length I have here is 7 inches, so I'll go turn it out. 7 inches by 2 inches, I'll go turn it out and I'll stitch it down. So I'll go stitch that down and bring it back, show you. So this is the front and this is the strap that I have stitched down. So what we are going to do now is from the shoulder I'll come down by 3 inches. So I'll do the same on the other side. Then after that, for the second place where I'll be placing the strap, I'll come down by 3.5 inches. So it depends on where you want your straps to sit. So I've marked that out. So I'll get the strap we stitch down. So how we are going to do this is, so I zoomed it in, just place the strap you sewed on the point we marked. You see the way I placed. Then after placing it, you're going to stitch it down. After stitching, then you flip it the way I'm doing here. That's why I had to zoom the videos. Flip it this way, pin it down, then you're going to stitch. So if you stitch it, this is how it's going to look. So this is what we have. Now I'm going to explain this again. That's why I had to zoom it in so you guys will see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take out the pins and explain. Get your strap, place it on the point you marked. Now you take it to the machine, you stitch that side, then you flip it the way I just flip it to the other end and you stitch. So I'll do that and I'll bring back to show what I have. So this is what I have of these two straps. Now I've cut out a long fabric that I'll use to turn. So you turn your fabric to the wrong side, place your strap on it, right side facing each other, then you'll be stitching it down. So as you're stitching, you'll be turning it. As you're stitching, you'll be turning it so you get to the end of the neckline. Then you stitch. So I'm going to do that again. So this is how it looks. Then flip it to the wrong side like this. Get your strap, place it right side facing each other, then you stitch it all around. As you're stitching, you'll be moving it around. As you're stitching, you'll be moving it around until you stitch everything to the end, just the way I'm demonstrating here in the video. So I had to take my time to do this so you guys will understand. So I'll go do that and I'll bring it back to show you what I have. So after stitching, this is what it's going to look like. So this is the wrong side. Now the next thing we are going to do now, you are going to be notching the parts that you stitched. You're going to notch it very well so that everything will lay flat. But if you have any question, please ask me your question in the comment section. So after doing that, so this is how it's going to lay flat easily. Now I'm going to do what, I'll go iron it off camera. So go iron yours. So after notching, iron it so that everything will lay flat. So I'm going to go iron everything properly so that it lays flat. So I'll do that and I'll bring it back to show you what I have. So you see what we have. So this is the wrong side. You see how neat the wrong side looks, and I've used my hemming gun to hold it down. Now this is what the front side looks. So this is how neat it is meant to look. Now the next thing is I've cut out a piece I'm going to use for my pocket. Then I'm going to place it on the area I notched, and I will stitch that down and bring it back. So this is what I have after stitching the pocket area. Now I'll get the back. I cut out a facing for the back neckline, and I've equally added my pocket to the side of the back piece. So I'm going to place them right side facing each other this way, and I'll be stitching the shoulders with 1/2 inch. Then for the side, I'll be using 1/2 inch to stitch the side. So don't worry, you understand why I use 1/2 inch instead of 1 inch. So I'll use 1/2 inch to stitch the side. Then when I get to the pocket area, I'm going to lift my footer and I'll stitch the pocket. After that, I'll stitch it down to the full length. So I'm going to do that, and I'll bring it back to show you what I have. So after stitching, this is what I have. And guys, I added zip to the back because of the neckline. That is why I said please use 4 inches. My head could not pass through, so I had to split the center of my back piece to add my zip, and I used 1/2 inch to sew this zip. Sorry, remember we added 3 inches for the sewing allowance, so I used 1/2 inch to sew the side. Then I used the remaining 1/2 inch to join the zipper allowance. So if you watch the zipper now, you notice it's 1/2 inch that I used to join it. So I still have 2 inches allowance. So this is what I say I'm going to explain, so you understand why I added zipper. So please use 4 inches if you don't want to add a zipper. So we are going to now cut out our sleeve. So for the sleeve, I folded my fabric into 2, and is a funnel sleeve. So I'll be coming down by 3.5 inches for my cap height. I'll come down 3.5 inches for my cap height. Then for the full length of my sleeve, I used 23 inches. That is what I used. So come to the edge like this. I'm just going to cover out my sleeve. So this is how I draft my sleeve. If you have any other way you draft yours, please use that method. So I'm going to measure my round armhole plus my 1 inch stitching allowance, and I'll mark. So for the funnel sleeve, I marked 12 inches. It's a funnel sleeve, so for mine I marked 12 inches, and I'll connect from the upper part to the down part this way. So that is all. So we just have to just cut out what we have already marked out. So I'm going to use this one now to cut out the second piece. So this is the 2 pieces of the sleeve. So what I'll do now, I'll take it to the machine. I'm going to hem the lower part, fold 1/2 inch in and fold another 1/2 inch in. So after hemming the lower part, then I'll place them right side facing each other this way, and I'll stitch the sides with 1 inch. So I'm going to do that, and I'll bring it back to show you what I have. Now I'm done. I've added one of the sleeve already. So to add the second sleeve, but before then, I've cut out 2 loops. I'll be adding a loop to the side of the dress later. I'll open it up and add, because I want to be able to snatch it. These I don't want to wear it as a free gown. I can snatch it a little bit. Now this is for the sleeve that I've already sewn. I'm going to open the side of my seam. Then I'll open the side seam of the sleeve as well, and I'll place them right side facing each other this way. On that same area, I'll be using 1/2 inch to stitch it all around. So I'll go stitch it down, and I'll bring it back to show you what we have. And guys, after stitching, this is what the sleeves look like, and I've added the loop to the side. If you don't want to add this loop, it's not a must, and I've equally hemmed the full length. So the one we are trying to recreate does not have a loop on the side, so it's a free dress. But mine, I want to snatch it a little bit. These I don't want to wear it as a free dress. So this is all coming to the end of this tutorial. See you on my next video. Bye.